Hi, I'm Ted from Everything Attachments, and we're today with our new cement mixer that we've gotten in. We've dealt with this company before out of Italy, but they made us a bigger one. We've been asking for a larger cement mixer, so this is the new BM 350, and it'll actually hold a full half a yard of concrete. One thing to keep in mind, a half a yard of concrete is over 1,000 pounds, so this shouldn't be on a small compact tractor. Some of the mega compacts, the really large compacts can handle it, and then larger tractors up to 70 or 80 horsepower have no problem. Bigger tractors than that are probably going to get more clumsy, and the hitch is going to get bigger than where you want to go with cement in most cases, unless you're just carrying it somewhere from a truck and dumping it. But this new one that holds a half a yard, we've been looking for a long time, and I just want to go over some of the things, including how you're going to set your hitch and so forth. It comes with a single action cylinder, meaning it only gives it power one way, and that's going to be to pull the mixer from its dumping position back up, to bring the weight back up. When you get ready to dump it and put the cement out, the weight of the cement will allow this cylinder to relax and let it dump down slowly. So you need if you have some of the older tractors, they actually have a screw on your remote valve that is meant for a one-way cylinder, like for the old sickle bar mowers, to let the mower down. If you've got a new model tractor, if you've got a farm tractor, it probably has that. If you've got some of the utility tractors or something, the economy tractors, if it doesn't have that feature, you can still just put it in the down position for a minute until it gets down there. It will be putting your tractor in a high pressure mode on that one side of the outlet because it's not letting the fluid out, but it will let the fluid continue to go back into your tractor. Just letting you know that. On this new one, it's a bigger diameter. It is going to be pretty heavy, so it probably needs to be on a 4,500 pound tractor or so to be safe with it. It's got all the beaters in there, and I've used the box mixers like what are usually on a skid steer, can also go on the front of a tractor if you've got enough hydraulics to run it, and they work pretty good. But this really does, if you're trying to mix up a lot of it, this will actually mix it. If you're carrying it from one place to the other, the hopper has more capacity. It'll hold about a yard if you've got a skid steer or a really big tractor. But on this style here, as far as taking saccharine or cement, mixing it with your gravel or your sand, it just simply does it faster. It also, carrying a half a yard at a time, if you're going to take it from a truck to somewhere you can't get to with a heavy cement truck, it also works well for that. Comes with your drive shaft, and that's one of the critical things we're going to talk about. All right, so your drive shaft's going to hook down here on your main drive, and as you can see this cover right here, that's covering up a really big sprocket with a chain on it, and the reason the sprocket is so big is so the drum will turn slow. So there's a lot that has to be set up here before you want to determine your drive shaft length. So it's all in your manual. It's a lot to read. You probably should read it and then still listen to what I'm saying and get all of your leverage points correct on your tractor before you decide at all what drive shaft length you need. Because you've got 3 top link holes, you've got 4 bottom pin holes, and just depending on the geometry of your particular tractor, every tractor's different, between where your lift arms are on your tractor to how high your top link is, to how long your lift arms are, everything changes. So what I recommend doing is, once I think I've got the right setting here, looking at the book, then putting this on, and then what I want it to do, even empty, when you've got your leverage perfectly right, and you want to, it probably will not empty, okay? It might, but if it doesn't, what I usually do is take a water hose, put 5 gallons of water in it, give it a little bit of weight, something I can waste and throw away, get my linkage here right where it's going to dump, raise up and down on your lift a little bit. You want to keep that controlled. But if you're going to have to lift it to get to do the job, whatever it is you're doing, then make sure you can do it and your leverage is working out right before you cut this shaft. So once you've figured out that that's good and it will go down and dump, then your drive shaft is a critical place here where it does get closer to the tractor at places. So wherever it's the closest, you want to make sure it's not bottoming it out. I've never had a case where the drive shaft wasn't long enough, but I've definitely had a couple people damage their mixer because they didn't cut their shaft properly. So, and there is a how to cut your drive shaft, but pretty simply, if your drive shaft lacks 2 inches of going on to your shaft when you've got it at the perfect place, then you're simply just going to pull it apart, cut 2 inches off of the plastic shield, then cut 2 inches off of the steel shield, off the steel center drive mechanism, and that has to be done to both, or one's going to bottom out. If you cut only one, it will make absolutely zero difference. 2 inches, if that's what you need, you've got to cut 2 inches off of everything. Make sure you leave your long steel post out past your shield, because you won't be able to line them up if you just cut both things the same length. It's really hard to line both things up at the same time. So that being said, read your manual on this setting here. Give us a call or an email. We'll be happy to make sure that this is right for your tractor. And just remember, it does take a little bit of thought and a little bit of reading to get all of your linkages where it works. I've used these a lot. I've used them from everything from mixing for putting up hundreds of feet of fence to just simply carrying yards of concrete to another place I was pouring a pad. So they do work well. They're made in Italy, and at Everything Attachments, we try to carry the best stuff. Give us a call or an email. We'll be happy to help you with anything.